Ayan, good morning sa inyong lahat. Good day. Okay, so welcome again to our subject, Accounting Information System. And again, this is Noel Bergonia and we are about to discuss Chapter 4, no? The revenue cycle. So for our today's discussion of the revenue cycle, we will have the following objectives. Okay, so we are about to discuss the tasks performed in the revenue cycle regardless of the technology being used. Okay, the functional departments in the revenue cycle and the flow of revenue transactions through the organization, the documents, journals, and accounts needed for audit trail, records, decision making, and financial reporting, the risks associated with the revenue cycle, and the controls that reduces these risks. Then, the operational and control implications of technology used to automate and re-engineer the revenue cycle. Okay, so yan yung mga i-discuss natin ngayong araw. So, let's start. Okay, so let's just have a general overview of what the revenue cycle is. So technically, when we talk about revenue cycle, it is just a mere exchange of goods and services, no, with customers, and in return, we the business will receive cash, no. However, in some of the businesses, no, especially dun sa mga malalaki, okay, not all of them will have a cash transaction because as you all know, no, on the Impress system, 'di ba? Our disbursements will be through checks and then our collections okay, will be deposited through the bank. So ibig sabihin in some of the large businesses, they would pay us, no, checks. So, magiging receivable muna siya and then afterwards, saka pa lang siya babayaran. So, there are some complex revenue cycle processes, especially for sales on credits. Okay? As the matter of processing convenience, most of these firms treat each phase as separate transactions. So, we have two phases, no? We have the physical phase, as mentioned to you in chapter 1, nung inintroduce ko tong mga cycles, diba? Sa revenue phase, meron tayong physical phase, which includes yung transfer of assets or services from the buyer to the seller. And the second phase is what we call financial phase, which involves yung receipt of cash naman by the seller in the payment of the accounts receivable. So overall, no, our revenue cycle is subdivided into two subsystems. So which is the sales order processing at saka yung cash receipt subsystem. So mamaya, we will be discussing thoroughly yung mga subsystems na yon. But in this overview, everything will start on the sales order. Later, we will have a detailed discussion of each of this, no? Okay, so we will receive the sales order from the customer. Then after that, it will proceed to the credit or customer service. Then once approved, pupunta na siya sa shipping. Then pag na-shift na, going to the buyer, okay, so we will bill that customer. Then pagka-bill sa kanya, of course, it will be recorded in accounts receivable and some other records pa. Then we will collect it. Then again, the cash being collected will be used, no, for our items to be sold again. So later, we will be discussing this. So this is the general overview of our revenue cycle. Okay? So, on this particular image that you have, this is just the data flow diagram of the sales order processing system. So as you can see, medyo sabihin natin, okay, complicated siya in terms of the diagram, but later on, we will be discussing one by one, okay, yung mga laman nito, okay, in a manner that it could be easily understood. Masasanay din kayo dyan kasi in this case, no, yung mga data flow chart na yan or data flow diagrams na yan, it depends upon the complexity on the business. No? Pwede pa natin pasimplihin yan. No? Pwede rin naman na ganyan na yan as is. This is actually the figure presented in the book. No? It will start with the customer and then it will end on, of course, the billing process up to it was being collected. No? Also, here is a sample chart of the manual sales order processing system. Okay, it will start again to the customer. Then up to dito sa dulo, which is ma-ship na siya going to our customer, of course. Then after that, no, ibibill na siya, recording naman yung kasunod. Okay? So, we will not though we will be discussing everything na content niya, no, we will not focus per se doon sa flowcharts or even on the diagram na yan. So we'll just discuss it in a manner na easily understood. Okay, so let's start with the first part of the revenue cycle, which is the sales order processing. Okay, so nasusundan ba ako so far? So our sales order processing system will begin with a customer placing an order. So, di ba, once we are going to sell, customers will gonna be placing an order. Okay, so the sales department will capture the essential details on what we so-called sales order form. So, ano yung mga important details na kailangan natin? Of course, example, yung name or company ng buyer natin. Okay, PIN number in some cases, no? Tapos, saan i-deliver kung sakaling ipapadeliver ito, 'di ba? What will be the quantity? Okay, yung unit price kasi naka-fix naman yan sa atin unless there would be trade discounts or other discounts to be given, 'di ba? Okay? And others pa that would be essential for us to deliver these goods or services to that customer. Okay? So, after na makapag-place ng order ni customer at nagawaan na ng sales department, ng sales order form, yung ating customer, then, okay, kung ito ay cash, automatic cash receipt system na agad tayo. Wala na tayo pag-uusapan, di ba? Sales order form, then cash, delivery, tapos agad yung cycle. But we will be looking into it as if that we are going to have the long track na-mention ko naman sa inyo kanina. Most of the companies are not yet paying it agad, no, because in their company as well, they are undergoing authorization on the expenditure cycle. Makikita naman natin yan sa discussion ng expenditure cycle natin, guys, kung paano naman nagdi-disburse yung ating mga entities na in relation naman din dito sa revenue cycle since we are the one who will be receiving the cash to be paid. Okay. So, after nga ulit, balikan ko lang, after the sales order form was being created or being filled up, now the next part is that this sales order form will go through the credit team or credit department wherein the transaction is being checked for credit approval by the credit team. Of course, kailangan natin tignan yung credit worthiness nitong entity na to or customer na to na bumibili, okay, so that we can proceed with the receivable. Kasi kung hindi at hindi maganda yung credit rating nito or credit standing nitong customer na to, then either marireject yung sale o kaya naman mapipilitan si customer na magbayad ng cash. Okay, are we clear on that? So after ma-approve nung transaction, kung approve yung credit ni customer sa credit department, then it will now go to various departments. So yung sales information natin na nasa sales order form, kaya ang sales order form, guys, medyo maraming duplicates yan. Or not only duplicates, maraming copies, okay, because many departments will have this one. Later we will be discussing some sort of computerized. Sa computerized medyo malilesen, pero sa manual kasi the forms, okay, yung mga number of copies medyo madami. Okay, so yung sales information, it will be released to the billing department, of course, no, the warehouse because of the stock releasing, and then also to the shipping department afterwards. Okay, so after ma-disseminate ng mga information, okay, to the other departments, next would be the merchandise is pick up. Di ba nabigyan na natin si warehouse ng information. Now, the merchandise is picked up from the warehouse and sent to the shipping. Of course, nung binigay yung sales order form doon sa warehouse, nirepack na nila yon o kaya naman inayos na nila for delivery, 'di ba? Kasi i-mark nila yon as for delivery dito sa customer na to. So it will be sent now to the shipping department. Okay, of course, the stock records are being adjusted on the part of the warehouse. Okay, so i-check ni warehouse dapat yung mga informations. Mamaya pag-usapan natin yung mga controls, no? Pero dito, the warehouse should check tama ba yun nandun sa sales order form over doon sa binibigay nilang number of items, especially doon sa shipping department. Okay? So now, the merchandise, the packing slip, okay? Ano yung packing slip? So that was yung maybe kung for delivery yan, meron mga stickers, something like that, and also the bill of lading, yung document na ng courier, no, are prepared by shipping and then sent to the customer. Okay? So shipping reconciles the merchandise received from the warehouse. So si warehouse, tinignan niya, chinek niya yung mga documents, 'di ba? Coming from the sales department, no? Over dun sa napak na niya. Tapos, ito naman si shipping department, titignan niya ulit, i-reconcile niya kung tama ba ulit yung nandoon sa bill of lading, nasa mga documents na hawak niya, okay, over doon sa isi-ship niya na items. Okay, and then the sales information on the packing slip. The shipping information is sent to billing. So, pagka-ship na, okay, pag na-ship na, natapos na lahat, napunta na kay customer, okay, the shipping information, okay, is sent to billing. In some other entities, hindi na nila inaantay na ma-deliver pa agad-agad yung, I mean, makarating kay customer. No? Immediately, once na si billing, shipping department, binigay niya yung document kay billing kahit hindi pa nakakaalis yung product, pwede niya nang i-process yun. Okay? Pero most likely, dapat bago i-bill later ni billing department yon, of course, dapat naki-customer na yung product. Okay, clear tayo doon? So, the shipping information is sent to the billing department and then the billing department compiles and reconcile. Hindi lang cash ang ni-reconcile, guys, ha. So, based on my experience in the private, lahat ng account actually ni-reconcile namin. Okay, so dito, the billing department reconciles the relevant facts and issues an invoice to the customer. So, pinagtatagpi-tagpi niya yung data, tinitignan niya ulit kung tama ba. Ito yung essential, guys, na importante para dun sa billing department. Of course, kailangan niyang tignan kung tama ba lahat ng items na na-receive ni customer bago siya gumawa ng billing. Eventually, yung sinasabi ko kanina sa inyo that in some other entities, no, they are doing na kahit hindi pa nasi-ship, naggumagawa na si billing. Pero dapat, in most of the cases, no, the billing will wait na si shipping department, ma-ship yon. Tapos, di ba may pinipirmahan yung customer, kagaya sa Shopee, pag nag-Shopee kayo, di ba? Pag bumili si customer, na-ship na, nakarating na kay customer, di ba may pinipirmahan na na-receive ko itong ganitong number of items, okay? So, yung document na pinipirmahan, actually, that's the receiving report na tinatawag natin, will be going also to the billing department para ma-reconcile niya yung mga data, okay? So, pag na-reconcile niya pa yung data na meron from the sales order form, yung official receipt na ginawa, at the same time, not official receipt by the way, yung receiving report, okay? So, now the billing department will issue an invoice to the customer and then updates the sales journal. So, update niya na yung record. And then also, once it was being recorded to the sales journal, now it will be transferred, the information will be transferred, of course, to the accounts receivable at saka sa inventory account. Okay? So far, naiintindihan ba, guys? Any question? Actually, yan yung laman nung mga data flow diagram kanina, no? Pero because of the arrows at saka yung complexity para sa atin, sa unang tingin natin ng diagram, it seems to be hard for us to really comprehend. Pero ito lang yung naging process, no? Okay, wala pa akong tinatakil dito. This is just an overall process. May ito yung process sa manual. Later on sa computerized, ganito rin ba? Okay, let's see later on. Okay? So, any questions so far? Wala naman. So, that's the sales order processing na i-continue lang natin, no? The accounts receivable, by the way, balikan natin, 'di ba, yung shipping information, the billing department transferred ito accounts receivable and the inventory control. So ngayon, the accounts receivable records the information in the customer's account in the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. Sir, may other department ba na accounts receivable? Yeah, in the private we have a separate group or team who records it, no? Hindi pwedeng si billing ang magre-record nun. Take note, merong ano yan, meron tayong control dyan later. Okay, so it's the AR team who records the information to the customer's account. Then, of course, the inventory control account will be adjusted because they have the inventory subsidiary ledger. Okay, kailangan uh, i-update yung ating ledger. Okay, kasi nabawasan yung inventaryo natin. And then, afterwards, the billing or accounts receivable and inventory submits the summary of the information to the general ledger department. Oh, may iba pa ulit department, general ledger department. Akala nyo, in the basic accounting overview, isa lang gumagawa niya. No, it should be separate dahil nga sa control, no? In my case, in the private, I am recording the journal entry. I'm posting the subsidiary ledger, pero on the GL side, general ledger, meron pang other person involved. By the way, I'm focusing on the fixed asset and project accounting on my last work. And then general accounting naman. So na-encounter ko itong accounts receivable part na to in my previous works. Okay? So going back, the general department which reconciles naman yung data and then post it to control account. See, magkaiba yung nagre-record ng subsidiary ledger at saka magkaiba rin yung nagre-record sa general ledger. Kasi again, 'di ba, in the end kailangan magbalanse ang general ledger at saka yung subsidiary ledger. If it does not happen, then ibig sabihin may pagkakamali. There's something wrong in between. Okay? So, hanggang dyan yung sales order processing. Pag na-post na on the general ledger, then we're done with the sales order processing systems natin. Okay? So, just to have an overview of the journal entries or journal vouchers being created. So, si billing department, nagpe-prepare siya ng journal voucher, JV yung tawag dyan, pero hindi siya yung nagre-record, guys. Nagpe-prepare lang siya ng journal voucher, but there is another, the accounting department, no, under it, yung nagjo-journalize. So, ang entry niya would be debit account receivable credit sales. Then, the inventory control department prepares naman yung journal entry voucher for the entry ng debit cost of goods sold and credit inventory. So, most of the time, kapag nasa private na kayo, hindi lahat periodic, no? Most of the time, it will be perpetual inventory system. Kaya ina-update agad once na nagkaroon ng sales. Okay? And then finally, no, of course, once na na-receive. Okay, although itong last part na to, di-discuss natin yan on the cash cash receipt system, subsystem natin. Okay, pero ito yung supposed to be entry kapag nakolekta naman yung ating accounts receivable. Okay? Any questions so far on the journal entries or even the process in our sales order processing system? Wala? Okay, sure. Gising ka pa? Okay, so let's continue. So we're done with the sales order processing. So hanggang nakarating yung product doon sa customer. And then nagkaroon ng internal updates ng mga records natin up to the accounts receivable at saka si cost of goods sold. So next would be, what if the item being sold was returned? So pag-usapan natin ngayon yung about naman sales return. Okay, so here in this particular illustration on the data flow diagram, we have the sales returns procedure. Ganun ulit, no? Medyo somehow sa tingin natin complicated yan, but it's on the process, no? So bakit nga ba nagkakaroon ng sales return? So as you have remembered, no, in the basic discussion of merchandising business, so the company might have shipped to the customer the wrong merchandise. Okay, so that's one possibility bakit nagkakaroon ng customer return. Another is that nung dumating yung goods to the customers, it was already defective. Then, the product was damaged also on the shipment. Okay? Or, even the buyer refused the delivery because the seller shipped the goods too late. No, diba? Yung nagsha-Shopee dyan or Lazada, diba? Pero kayo naman, kinukuha nyo pa rin, diba? But there are some cases, especially kapag meron lang time na gagamitin yung product kaya siya in order, so the buyer can refuse the delivery. So now, it's triggering now the sales return procedure. Okay, so ilipat ko siya dun sa flowchart para mas mabilis nating maintindihan. I will use the flowchart for the sales returns kasi mas maiksi lang yung process na dadaanan niya. So, when the item are returned, okay, the receiving department, okay, dun sa receiving department, okay, counts, okay, binibilang niya, ini-inspect niya yung mga items, di ba? Halimbawa, pag nagpunta kayo sa SM, nagpunta kayo sa customer service, di ba? Yun yung receiving department nila. So, titignan nila, okay, may resibo ba? Okay, ito pa rin ba yung binili mo? Even pasok ba siya dun sa returning period? Ano pa? Tinitignan din nila kung baka na-damage mo yung product, 'di ba? Mas na-damage mo yung product. Okay, so after it was being checked, na-inspect na yung product, tapos okay naman, then that particular receiving department will prepare what we so called return slip. So, yun yung nakita yung prepare return slip dyan. Now, describing the item. Now, the goods along with the copy of the return slip will be will go to the warehouse, okay, to be restocked. Okay, babalik na sa warehouse. Okay, yung particular item na yon. Although dito kasi, ayun, nasa babang part na yung warehouse, di ba? Okay, so yung product pupunta doon. Now, the employee will now send the second copy of the return slip. So, kailangan meron mga other copies ulit kasi it will not go only to one department. No? Maraming departments yung pupuntahan yan. The employee will send the second copy of the return slip to the sales department. Kaya napunta naman yung arrow dun sa sales department, okay, which will function to prepare what is so-called credit memo. Familiar naman kayo, di ba, sa credit memo natin. It means that there is a return. Okay, it's not the credit memo ng bank recon, ha? Magkaiba yon. Okay, so once the return slip was being received by the sales department, nakapag-prepared na ng credit memorandum, this document is the authorization, no? Itong credit memo na to, authorization for the customer to receive credit for the merchandise being returned. Okay? So, note that the credit memo is similar in appearance to a sales order. Some systems may actually use a copy of the sales order marked as credit memo. Okay, pero depende sa company kung ano itsura ng credit memo nila. Okay, so in this case, no, which specific authorization is required, the credit memo goes to the credit manager for approval. So, as you can see, the credit memo file natin will go also to what? The credit department, no, or credit manager for approval. So ngayon, credit manager, not credit department, but the credit manager, okay, will approve it. Now, if the clerk has sufficient given authority naman, kung halimbawa, si sales department, mayroong clerk doon na nag-approve ng return, then it will go directly now to the billing department. So dito sa illustration natin, hindi na dumaan yung credit memo file doon sa credit approval manager. So dumiretso na lang siya sa billing because that's how they process it in this particular example ng flowchart. Pero yun nga, nabanggit ko kanina that in some cases, the credit memorandum will go to the credit manager or credit personnel for approval. Okay? So, ayan, let's presume that the credit memo was already been approved. Okay, good to go na siya. So, pumunta siya sa billing. Okay? So, anong gagawin nung ating data doon sa billing department natin? So on the billing department, of course, i-update niya yung journal, magre-record siya ng sales returns and allowances. Okay? And then the copy of the credit memo will go to the inventory control. Okay, bakit? The inventory control function adjusts the inventory records and forwards the credit memo also to the accounts receivable. Kaya mapapansin niyo pag na-update ng inventory control records, pupunta ulit yung information to the accounts receivable. Then, periodically, inventory control sends a journal voucher summarizing the total value of inventory return to the general ledger. So as you can see from the inventory control, meron din siyang araw na dumidiretso naman sa general ledger. Yung kaninang unang nabanggit ko, after ng inventory control, i-update niya yon, then mag-update din si accounts receivable. Pero in some cases, no, sabi dito, so the inventory control sends the journal voucher summarizing nga everything, the general ledger, to update also their tasks. So similar, accounts receivable submits an accounts receivable summary to the general ledger. So mapapansin ninyo, may dalawang arrow na nasa baba ng ating journal voucher. Okay, so let me see that. So ito yon, di ba? Itong line na to, from the journal voucher in the inventory control, okay, it will go to the general ledger. And also, si accounts receivable summary din, okay, pupunta siya doon sa general ledger. So yun yung sinasabi ko kanina, that they will update the general ledger for this particular transaction. Okay? So, any question? Wala naman? Okay. So, that's how sales return works, no? Medyo tedious siya, pero kapag maayos naman yung system, actually mabilis lang yan. Okay? Now, here is the sales return journal entry na nabanggit natin kanina. So the general ledger will post the following to the control account. So ito yung general entry ng general ledger. So it could be debit inventory control, so kasi nag-return. Then debit also sales returns and allowances, contra sales account. Then credit cost of goods sold, because the return will reduce the cost of goods sold. And then also the return will give us credit to accounts receivable control account, again because of the return. Okay, any question? Wala naman? Okay, so that's the end of the sales return part natin. Okay, so the next part of our discussion, di ba kanina sales order system, okay, from the time na umorder si customer up to its delivery, okay, then just in case na may sales return, so ito yung kakadiscuss lang natin. The next part of the revenue cycle, which is the second subsystem, is all about the cash receipts. So again, it will be the customers, again, paying to us, and we need to update, of course, our records, and until our cash or the check that was being paid by the customer will be deposited to the bank. Okay. So here is the flow chart, okay, na i-discuss natin isa-isa. May tignan nyo yung departments, may mail room, may cash receipts, may accounts receivable, may general ledger, at saka meron din tayong controller. Okay, so isa-isahin din ulit natin yung process, but we will just discuss it in how we have discussed the order processing system. Okay, so on the cash receipt process natin, okay, so syempre, na-bill na, 'di ba? Kanina sa sales order processing, na-bill na si customer. So ngayon, on the part of the customer, hindi naman agad-agad mapaprocess yun. Pag-uusapan natin yung part ni customer na nagbabayad on our expenditure cycle naman. Pero itong part na to, we are going to receive. So, ang process ng cash receipt natin, okay, subsystem, will start once the customer's check and remittance advice are received in the mailroom. Okay? So, kasi in some cases, that entities which are paying checks, no, ang ginagawa, hindi mo naman pwede isend yan through email yung check, eh. Okay? The physical check will be sent to the other entities or to the seller's mailing room. Okay? So, meron tayong part doon na meron tayong receiving person regarding those checks. So, sabi dito, a mailroom clerk prepares the cash pre-lists and sends the pre-lists and the check to the cash receipts. Okay, department natin. So, the cash pre-list is also sent to the accounts receivable and the controller. So ano ba tong cash pre-list na to or remittance list na tinatawag din? So itong list na to, it is where all of the cash received is logged. Okay, so merong parang log na of course pagka na-receive yung cheque or even cash in some other cases, nilalag yan ni mailroom clerk. Okay, so yung log na yun yung sinisend sabi dito going to the cash receipts department as well as the accounts receivable. Pero yung pinaka-cheque, of course, pupunta dapat siya sa cash receipt department. Okay? So, after that, no, tignan natin kung ano mangyayari dun sa cash receipt department. So, si cash receipt department will verify the accuracy and completeness of the check. So, hindi porket na-receive nyo na yung check, immediately, turn down nyo na yung record ng accounts receivable. No, you need to check first, no, yung accuracy and completeness kasi baka mamaya peke yung check o kaya naman may kulang na details sa check. So, para at least, just in case na may kulang or may pagkakamali doon, then it will be sent back to that particular buyer para ayusin yung check. Are we clear on that? Then, once na na-verify na yung accuracy and completeness ng check, then we will now update the cash receipt journal. Okay? So, yun yung entry kanina na napakita ko sa part ng sales order processing na kung saan we have to debit the cash and we credit the accounts receivable. Then, of course, that check will not stay in our company. Under the Impress system, of course, that check or cash will now be deposited to the bank. Okay, so the cash receipt department will also prepare the deposit slip. No? And then after that, ayan na, the cash receipt department will prepare a journal voucher to be sent naman to the general ledger to update yung accounts receivable natin na account. Okay? So, continuing with the process, so the accounts receivable naman, department, posts from the remittant advices to the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. So, pag tinignan na ni particular accounts receivable department, yung remittance advice, okay, ano ba yung remittance advice? So, actually, that's a particular document which is used to post the customer's accounts in the accounts receivable. Okay? So, ipopost ni accounts receivable team yung accounts receivable na yon to the subsidiary ledger. No, i-update din niya, of course, tatanggalin niya na. Now, periodically, a summary, of course, of the posting doon sa subsidiary ledger natin is sent to the general ledger. Okay? So, ba't doble-doble yung trabaho? Again, importance in our chapter 3's discussion, there should be a segregation of duty. So, mamaya babanggitin ko rin ulit yung mga controls na yan. Okay? So, continuing, after na mabigyan ng data si General Ledger Department, tandaan nyo, dalawa rin yung record na napunta kay General Ledger Department. One is coming from the cash receipts department, and then the other one is coming from the accounts receivable department. So, ang ginagawa ni GL department, it reconciles, ayan yung ginagawa niya, yung document na na-receive niya mula kay cash department, cash receipts department, ini-reconcile niya ito mula dun sa na-receive niya mula kay accounts receivable department naman. Okay? So, once na tumugma yun, then, saka pa lang magre-record and i-update niya yung general ledger account. Okay? Which most of the time, magbalance. Kasi kung magkano rin naman yung napuntang cash receipt or billing amount at saka yung check doon sa cash receipts, di ba, na record kanina, yun din yung napunta kay accounts receivable. But in some cases kasi baka nagkaroon ng possible problems doon sa either of the two departments, then makikita bago i-post sa general ledger yung discrepancies nila. Okay? Then, afterwards, syempre, diniposito ni Cash Receipt Department yon, di ba? Okay. Afterwards, dyan napapasok also yung napag-aralan nyo sa Intermediate Accounting 1 na the controller reconciles the bank account. So, itong reconciliation naman ng bank account, it will be already a separate process outside the cash receipt natin, or iba na siya doon sa revenue cycle. Okay, hindi na siya pasok dito sa revenue cycle. It's just been mentioned here so that you are aware na hindi natatapos yung process doon sa pagdeposito sa bangko. Okay, na-deposito na sa bangko, tapos na ako. Okay, no. Na-record ko na siya sa general ledger, tapos na ako. No. No, it will be reconciled. Okay? So eventually, yun na-discuss na reconciliation sa inyo sa intermediate accounting, it's just an overview. May encounter nyo yan pag nagtrabaho kayo, no? At ako, based on my experience, no, on an international company that I have, I am reconciling almost 1 million lines of checks. Pero there is a process naman, kaya medyo mabilis yon. Okay? But we will not discuss the reconciliation here. Okay? Are we clear on the cash receipt procedure natin or process natin? Okay? Kung babalikan nyo itong discussion ko, no, ng cash receipt as well as yung sales order kanina, yan din yung ipapakita sa inyo dun sa flow, sa mga flow charts na present ko sa inyo. Okay? So, ayan. Ayaw na. Anyways, so let's move forward. So, understanding the cash receipt as well as yung sales order subsystem under the revenue cycle, okay, we have already mentioned some controls. And it is important for us to have also revenue cycle controls. It's because of the fact this control will help us to what? Safeguard. Naalala niyo yun, yung discussion sa chapter 3, to safeguard the assets. Okay, to avoid any fraud schemes that could be possibly happening in a particular cycle. Especially nandito tayo sa ating revenue cycle, guys. Okay, napansin nyo kanina sa process, ano yung mga important na kailangan natin i-safeguard dyan. Of course, yung ating binibenta, the items, no, the products that we have, and also yung cash natin. Okay? Kasi as you all know, the cash is very susceptible account or even the susceptible asset for theft or even fraud. Now, here is the summary of the internal controls, okay, in revenue cycle. Mamaya, we will dig deeper pa yan in some of the slides. Okay, so first would be, of course, in the transaction authorization. In our sales processing kanina, diba? So after the sales order was being prepared, it was forwarded first to the credit department for the credit check or approval. Okay? So that's one key point ng transaction authorization for the sales processing. And also, nung nagkaroon ng return, diba, kanina nagkaroon ng checking kung tumugma ba siya, pasok ba siya doon sa date ng return. So, we check for the return policy natin before we proceed to the processing of the return. Okay? On the other hand, sa ating transaction authorization naman as to cash receipts, nagkaroon tayo ng remittance list or cash pre-list kanina sa mailroom. Diba? So, chinek natin yung na-receive na mga checks. So, nilista natin. Okay? So, are we good on that, guys? First, any question about transaction authorization? Okay, wala naman? Okay, may magtatanong, sir, bakit nandiyan yung remittance pre-list and transaction authorization yan? So, the pre-list provides the means for us for verifying customers' checks and remittance advice match in an amount. So, the presence of an extra remittance advice in the accounting accounts receivable department or the absence of a customer's check in the cash receipt department would detect when the batch is reconciled with the pre-list. Thus, the pre-list authorize the posting of a remittance advice to a customer's account. So, without that pre-list, no, without that authorized remittance list, no, hindi daw mapopost doon sa customer's account yung ating collection. Okay? So that's the key factor bakit siya naging transaction authorization na control. Are we clear? Next would be segregation of duties. As discussed in Chapter 3, segregation of duties is important because we don't want to have any collusion between employees. So in the sales processing department or sales processing subsystem, so as you can see, the credit is separate from the processing. Okay, the credit department, 'di ba? Approval lang sa kanya tapos iba yung nagpo-process ng documents at the same time ng product. The inventory control is also separate from the warehouse, 'di ba? And the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger is also separate from the general ledger. So yan yung sinasabi ko kanina sa inyo na bakit sir ang daming departments? It's because of the segregation of duties. Okay. On the other hand, in the cash receipt as well, we have to separate the cash receipts team with the accounts receivable team and also the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger team na nag-update nun and also the general ledger. Actually, kung ako tatanungin nyo, sir, ilan ba yung team na sinasabi mo? It could either be 1 or 2 persons lang. Na magkaiba lang sila ng department pero isa or dalawang tao lang yan. Okay? Or even kapag malaki yung entity, of course, mas madami. Depending upon how large is that. Then next would be as a supervision. So sa sales processing, hindi naman masyado ang supervision because there is already a strict segregation of duties. But in some cases, no, for the cash receipts part, okay, there will be a supervision with regards to the mail room. Okay, so bakit po tayo nagpupunta ng or nagpuput up ng individual as supervisions on the cash receipts part mailroom? Okay, it's because the individual who opens the mail has the access to both the cash, which is an asset, okay, and the remittance advice, which is used to record the transaction. So sa kanya kasi napupunta yung remittance advice at saka yung cash. So ang pwede niya kasing gawin dyan, limbawa, ikaw yung nasa mailroom, tapos hawak mo yung record remittance advice na ginagamit, sabi natin kanina, to record it to the control account and even the cash, which is check eh. Okay, so pwede mo kasing sirain o kaya naman steal yung check, steal tuloy, gawing, nakawin yung check eh. Okay, pero isipin nyo naman, sir, nanakawin niya, di ba, yung cheque na yun, pag present sa bangko, dapat kung sino lang naman yung nakahawak. Kaya pwede, di ba? Pero how about yung mga entities na hindi cash yung binayad, hindi cheque yung binayad, cash yung binayad, di ba? Can you think of that? Na pwedeng nakawin yun ng mailroom personnel. So there should be a separate supervising person with regards to that mailroom. Okay? Any question? Wala. Now, also, in the accounting records na control activity natin, as you can see, the sales order, the sales journal, the receivable, accounts receivable subsidiary ledger, the accounts receivable control, at saka yung inventories, subsidiary ledger and control, at saka sales are separate. Diba? Hindi yan iisang record lang. And in the cash receipts, we have the remittance advice, the check, the remittance. So marami tayong documents that we could rely and we could reconcile and we could check in order for us to record correctly our accounting records. Isa yan sa natutunan ko in the private that it is very important that we reconcile properly everything before we record it. Rather than record it before you reconcile it. Kasi mas madaming nagiging error, especially kung mga bago pa lang yung nagre-record, diba? At saka nagkakaroon ng problem. Okay? Mas maraming nagkakaroon ng problema kapag ni-record na, saka pala magre-reconcile. Okay? So, pero it depends pa rin din sa company's setup. Most likely. Okay? Another control will be about the access control natin. So, the physical access to the inventory in the sales processing is separate, okay? The physical asset to inventory, of course, it's only the warehouse na may general access to the inventory. Then, ipapasa niya lang sa shipping yan kapag nagkaroon na ng good to go signal na isi-ship yung product, na-receive yung documents properly. And also, the access to the above accounting records, okay, is very important kasi each individual assigned to those accounting records should only be the one to have an access over it. Okay, and then the physical access, of course, to cash sa cash receipt system. Okay, and also the access to the accounting records as shown above in the cash receipts. Okay, so yung access yan, importante yan, guys. Okay, you should never allow anybody, even the manager of other department, to access the record of your department unless it happens to have an approval or nag-undergo siya dun sa company's process ninyo in handling records. Okay? And then lastly, we have independent verification. So the shipping department, the billing department, and the general ledger, kanina on our previous examples and discussion, di ba, nire-reconcile nila yung mga data based on the record that they have received and they have, so that there could be an independent verification. Do not just rely on ano yung nasa isang record. Okay? And also to the cash receipt. Yung cash receipt, di ba, nagre-record siya ng based doon sa na-receive niya from the mailroom. Okay, pino-forward niya yun sa General Ledger Department, which revalidates yung na-receive niya from cash receipt by matching it to Accounts Receivable Department. And then also, another control is yung bank reconciliation for the cash being received. Okay, at saka yung nasa bangko natin na cash. Any questions so far? Naku, napaka-summarize naman yun, sir. Okay, itong mga susunod na slides will just give us again the idea about what I have discussed. So in authorization control, so the proper authorization of the transactions or documentation should occur so that only valid transactions will get processed. Tama lang naman, diba? That we need to check the authorization so that we can only process the valid transactions. Kasi pag hindi yan na-approve, then most likely we should not record it. Okay? Next would be within the revenue cycle, authorization should take place. Kanina nabanggit na to, the sales is made on credit, so dadaan sa credit department for checking. A cash refund is requested, di ba, dadaan ulit dun sa credit manager na nabanggit ko kanina, or another person under the sales department if ever, depending upon the entity's process. And also the posting of cash payment received to customer's account using the cash pre-list natin. Okay, and then that's the authorization control. Next would be as to the segregation of duties naman. Okay, so gising pa kayo, guys? Sure kayo, ha? Okay, as to segregation of duties, so we have the transaction authorizations should be separate from the transaction processing. The asset custody should be separate from the asset recording, and the organization should be structured that the penetration of a product requires collusion between two or more individuals, pero ayaw na natin pumunta pa dun sa collusion na yun. Okay? So ano ba yung mga possible na mag-collusion? Ito, sa mailroom, pwede rin yun yung supervisor at saka supervisor at saka si mailroom clerk. Paano kapag sila nag-usap, ay naku, nakawin natin, edit natin yung record. Ang pwede mo naman na detective control dyan is yung independent verification. Pwede mang tanongin yung customer kung ito ba yung amount na na-receive. Okay, so there would be other controls as well na magsusuplicate doon sa segregation of function just in case na magkaroon sila ng collusion. Ano ba yung collusion, sir? Yung pag-uusap, yung pag-agree nilang dalawa, di ba, na gumawa ng fraud. Okay? So also, another part of the segregation function, as mentioned in the sales order processing system kanina, is that credit authorization separates from the sales order processing. Okay, the inventory is separate from the warehouse, and accounts receivable subledger was separate from the general ledger account. Then for the cash receipts, our cash receipt team should be separate from the accounting records. Okay, and also the account receivable subledger should be separate from the general ledger. Okay, as to supervision, na nabanggit kanina, mailroom lang naman, di ba? Often used if unable to act appropriate segregation of duties. And then supervisions is more important in the mailroom kasi daw deterrent to dishonest act. Agree ba kayo doon? O, depende sa entity, di ba? Pero, ayun, kung tayo tatanungin dito, we should put the most honest employee doon sa mailroom. Lahat naman honest, pero most honest sa mailroom kasi doon pwede mangyari lahat, no? Bago pa makarating sa ibang departments, yun yung unang penetration ng check or cash. Kaya doon yung possible na maraming dishonest act. Okay? And then the accounting records should provide properly some audit trails so that we could track the transactions and the errors being made. So ano ba yung mga possible na pwedeng gawin? Pre-numbered source documents. So yung sales order, 'di ba, yung mga sales order na yon at saka yung mga journal entry vouchers, they are pre-numbered, the special journals, saka yung subsidiary general ledger at saka yung mga files natin should be able to be traced, no, so that we could check kung meron ba tayong maling nagawa or merong naging problem in between. Access control, so the access to the asset and information should be limited only to the person allowed to do so. Okay, and within the revenue cycle, yung asset to protect the cash and inventories, especially, okay, and the access to the records natin, account receivable subsidiary ledger, at saka cash receipts journal should be restricted. Kasi pag yan na-edit, okay, yari ng lahat. Okay? Yun naman sa cash at saka sa inventories, pag nawala yung mga yan, syempre, those are assets, physical assets that we have, then it would cause us some problems, no? Pag binigyan mo ng access. Kaya nga sa cash receipt, diba, the mailroom, after mailroom, pupunta na agad siya sa cash receipt. Tapos sa inventories naman, okay, from warehouse, babato sa shipping agad, okay, for delivery. Hindi na siya dadaan sa credit department. Kasi hindi naman yung 40 yun. Walang access yung credit department sa inventories. Okay? Clear pa, guys? Okay. And lastly, we have the independent verifications. So the physical procedures on record keeping should independently reviewed by various point systems such as yung kanina, the shipping verifies the goods sent to from the warehouse and are checking it for correctness of the type and quantity. This is a good control actually pag nagagawa talaga yan na bini-verify kasi this will avoid any sales return. Unless nasira na lang, 'di ba, on the process of delivery. Pero kung i-check natin, one of the reasons kanina bakit nagre-return is that mali yung modification na na-deliver. So to avoid that, then the shipping should also check, okay, whatever is received from the warehouse. Ito pa, ibang companies kasi, they are, di ba, halimbawa, kayo rin, mga buyer, pag halimbawa, mas mahal yung product or even mas maganda yung quality ng product, di ba, hindi nyo na binabalik. Ay, ito na, okay na to. Okay, pero lugi na yung other company doon. So, we need to check properly. We need to verify. Okay, another is that warehouse reconciles the stock release document and the packing slip so that we could be able to check kung tama ba yung ipapasa natin to the shipping department. Also, the billing reconciles the shipping notice with the sales invoice. So, yun, yung sales invoice is yun na yung the invoice being received by the customer and yung iba pinirmahan na rin yun. Okay, we need to reconcile that para tumugma talaga na yun yung na-receive ni customer. Para tama rin yung mabibill natin to the customer. And then, the general ledger also being reconciled to various accounting records. Okay. Any question, guys? Wala? So, that's a general view of the revenue cycle. So, ngayon, okay, so, sa manual, possible na ganun yun. Isipin nyo na lang, no, sa manual, ang daming papel niyan. Now, let's try to make it in the computerized environment naman. Okay, so our next topic is all about the computer-based accounting system for the revenue cycle. So, under the discussion, no, of our book, so we have two technologies, two views, no, in terms of the computer-based accounting system. Could either be an automation or reengineering. So, let's distinguish these two. Ano ba ang automation? So, an automation is the use of technology to improve efficiency and effectiveness. Eventually, from a manual, no? Yung isusulat mo yung accounting record, accounting entry, okay? So, instead of doing that, then i-automate mo, gagawin na natin siya sa computer. Okay, one of the example dun sa process na gagawin natin computerized, of course, i-record yung journal entry sa computer. Okay, pero yung sa credit manager, let's say for example, now what I have experienced in automation, although mamaya magdi-discuss pa tayo thoroughly ng mga yan, example ko sa automation dun sa credit part, now instead of a signature na pipirmahan ni credit manager para sa approval ng credit ni customer, no, ang gagawin na lang is to either send an email o kaya naman merong system na magkiklik ng approval. Okay? So, kagaya ng ginagawa ng manager sa Jollibee na, i-relate ko lang to. Jollibee manager na kapag na-void yung, di ba, pag binoid, mampa-void nung product, di ba, ang ginagawa lang niya is to input some code and then that will serve as already an approval. Okay, so parang ganun yung example ng automation. From a manual system, you put it in the context of a computer system. Okay. On the other hand, when we talk about reengineering, it is the use of technology to restructure the business process and firm organization. So itong reengineering na to, ito yung medyo mas extreme compared with automation kasi aside from it was being computerized already yung process sa reengineering part, no, ang gagawin pa is to streamline, no, yung process so that it could be more effective and more efficient. Okay, mamaya, di-discuss natin yan. Ano ba yung re-engineering na yan? Okay? So, unahin muna natin, tignan, ano ba yung mga revenue cycle databases natin na makikita sa computer-based accounting system. So, on the master file, meron tayong customer master file. So, that master file is our lists, okay, in the computer of who are those customers. Usually, frequent customers yan. Merong ibang, may separate department tayo na nag-a-approve sino lang yung customer natin and the customer file. Okay, nakalagay din dyan sa customer master file na yan. Okay, ano yung address, okay, ano yung usually in-order, no? All of the data na nasa sales order form na possible na i-fill out pa manually in the manual system will be stored in the customer master file. Okay, so it will be manned by separate team. No, dun sa aming company before, our customer master file is maintained by yung tinatawag namin na OTC, Order to Cash team. So siya yung regarding sa part doon na maintaining the customer master file. Then also accounts receivable master file. So yung may mga utang na files, may mga utang din also the merchandise inventory master file. Okay? So, ina-update palagi yan, especially yung customer master file kasi pwede i-add or i-delete yung customer doon depending upon the management, no? Kung ano na yung status ng customer na yun. Then also, the transaction and open document file, so yung sales order transaction file natin, the sales invoice at saka yung cash receipts. Then others were the other files din na nakita natin kanina, the shipping, the price data for reference, and then the credit reference file, no? The salesperson file, maybe kung sakali man na meron nun. Okay, baka kasi nagbe-base, merong commission kung sino man nakabenta. The sales history file, the cash receipt history file, at saka yung accounts receivable report file. So itong mga ito, this would be seen in the computerized environment. Okay, sir, kami pa ba gagawa niyo na sa accountant? Necessary, okay. Itong mga ito, this is just the file already of what you are going to do. No, pero yung maintenance niyan, it's all about the database administrators na. Okay? So, let's talk about automation. So, in automating the revenue cycle, okay, ang nangyayari doon is that authorizations and data access can be performed through computer screens. So, yun yung difference ito over the physical manual system kanina na na-discuss natin all in all, no? It will appear in the computer screens. there is a decrease in the amount of paper, of course, kasi halimbawa yung sales order din, hindi na muna kailangan i-print yon para ipa-approve sa different departments. It could be sent soft copy for approval to other departments, no? And then, yung pinaka-final file na lang yung ipiprint. Okay? So the manual journals and ledger may change to disks or tape transactions and master files. So yung mga master files kanina na na-discuss natin on the previous slide will now be automated and stored in a disk rather than notebooks, di ba? Journal notebooks o kaya naman the ledger notebook. Okay? So input is still typically from the hard copy, of course, yung mga dokumento. Okay? From the hard copy, but it goes through one or more computerized processes na sa automation. Okay? And then processes store data in electronic files or prepare the data in the form of hard copy report. So, after nung mga processes na yon, kung meron man tayong kailangan document, nabanggit ko kanina, isang document na lang yung ipiprint natin, okay, as a hard copy. Pwede na po yon sa automation. Okay? So, on the automation of the revenue cycle programs, it includes, formatted screens for collecting the data. So, meron na yan, hindi na siya yung, kumbaga, gagawa pa yung nagre-record nung kung ano man yung kailangan niya i-record na form. Let's say, for example, sales order form, kailangan na lang niyang ganito, hahanapin dun sa list si customer na ganito, then mag-auto-fill up na yung ibang mga particular items on that sales order form. Okay? Then, edit checks on the data entered. So, bago mag-proceed, usually, dun sa experience ko, bago mag-proceed yung screen na nasusunod, there would be a popping up, have you read already? Na-check mo na ba? Kasi you need to check as well dahil from a hard copy going to a computerized environment, pag nilagay mo na yun sa computerized, kung ano in-encode mo, yun na ipaprocess ng computer system. So, dapat, again, verification, check it one by one. Pwede mo pa namang i-edit, 'di ba? Bago mo siya i-proceed sa next process. And then instructions for processing and storing the data. So of course, meron tayo niyan. Then security procedures such as yung password and user ID. So lilimitahan lang, 'di ba? Nabanggit natin on one of the control, we should have an access control. So mas madali siya in terms of computerized environment kasi kung let's say one document would require the password only, it will only be the person assigned to that who will have that password and access. Okay? And then steps for generating and displaying output. Okay, hindi na tayo maghihirap na mag-format pa ng mga reports natin because it could be already derived from the outputs, the predetermined outputs na meron doon sa system natin. Okay? To understand files, you must consider the record design and layout. Of course, 'di ba, bago pag ginagawa yung system, as discussed in chapter 1, 'di ba, we have the user, the accountants can act as a person who will help the systems design, okay, so that it could fit on whatever use that we are needing it. Okay? Then the documents and files used as input sources must contain the data necessary to generate the output reports. Of course, importante yun. Then, here is the overview of an automated system. By the way, nalimutan ko po sabihin na in an automated system, usually they use the batch processing. Diba? In our first chapter, we have second chapter pala, transaction processing. We have discussed batch processing at saka real-time processing. So, in the automated, we usually do the batch processing so that, di ba, yung benefit last time is more organized yung gagawin natin. Okay, so dito, on the example of the batch processing automated, so once the customer, okay, so batch per batch yung magiging recording natin. Okay, so this is just an example. Okay. Then how about reengineering naman? So as mentioned to you kanina, it is to restructure the entity, as to the processes. So on the reengineering the sales order, we use usually the real-time technology. Okay, doon sa automated batch processing, dito sa reengineering, we try to use the real time. Okay, kasi nire-engineering, nire-restructure mo na eh. From automated, inaayos mo yung automated, pinapadali mo, then marire-engineer siya, pwede tayo mag-real time. Okay, kung kaya natin. Now, in the real time, okay, re-engineered sales order processing system, so the manual procedures and physical documents are replaced by interactive computer terminals. Okay? So yung mga documents natin kanina no, na naging interactive computer terminal sa shop, pwedeng halimbawa, yung sales order natin na finil upan ni customer or even from the automated kanina, okay, it will be on an interactive computer terminal already. Then the real-time input and output occurs when some master files still being updated using batches. So, dun sa real-time, okay, example of which is yung entry of the customer order, yung printout ng stock release, the packing slip, the bill of lading, the update of credit file, inventory file, and the sales order file. However, dun sa batch naman, pwedeng print out of invoices, no? Na isi-send sa customer, update of closed sales order journal, account receivable, and general ledger control account. Okay? There are still some parts which are batches, okay, pero most of the time, we will use here, okay, re-engineered part, real time. Okay? So this is an example of the real-time order system. Napansin niyo yung difference niya doon sa automated batch kanina, no? Oh, mas magulo. Okay, joke lang. Okay, hindi kayo natatawa, no? Okay, pero ayun, na-re-engineered siya kasi through one system, itong napapakita sa inyo under computer operations na sales order system, nagba-branch out na siya agad going to the other departments. Compared with what we have doon sa former sa batch system kanina, it needs to undergo, okay, on the computer department pa isa-isa, computer department muna and then saka lang siya isang pupunta doon. Okay. So, ano yung advantage ng real-time processing natin? Okay? So, last time kasi, as I have remembered in Chapter 2's discussion, ang binigyan natin ng importance is more on the batch processing. Okay, ngayon naman, real-time tayo. So, it shortens the cash cycle of the firm by reducing the time between the ordering date and the billing date. So, through re-engineering kasi, no, streamlining, no, nababawasan yung some steps na kailangan antay or even the waiting time before we could proceed with the next part. Halimbawa, sample na lang, no, yung approval ng manager, baka mamaya wala si manager. Okay, so pwedeng through phones, i-check yung approval, through emails, di ba? Or even pati yung pag-encode ng data, pati pag-update ng master file. So, it's an advantage over the real time because it's shortens the cash cycle. Okay, yun naman yung goal natin, di ba, in your discussion of financial management, that accounts receivable turnover should be what? Bababa para makolekta mo agad yung cash, di ba? So, yun yung advantage nito. Another is that better inventory management can lead to competitive advantage. So, dahil real-time nga yung update ng data natin ng master file natin, okay, the inventories, okay, could be monitored properly, di ba? So, kailangan ba natin mag-order agad? Reorder point na ba to? Or meron pa ba tayo safety stock to accommodate the future orders? Okay? So, malalaman agad natin yung data. Next would be fewer clerical errors, reducing incorrect items being shipped and bill discrepancy. So, dahil nga nare-recheck agad, na-update agad yung data, we could reconcile it immediately. Then, reduces the amount of excessive paper documents and their storage cost. Okay? So, actually, may cost naman parehas. Yung storage ng paper documents at saka yung storage ng computerized or even cloud or even soft copies. Pero of course, paper documents, yung papel na ipiprint mo, the ink, saka yung storage natin or warehouse para sa paper, okay, pag inad mo yon is still greater than having it on a magnetic tape o kaya naman on a cloud environment. Okay? So, this only shows lang yung what if, yung kanina kasi, di ba, automated sales order processing. Ngayon naman, automated cash receipts. So, i-automate natin yung cash receipts, parang yung manual lang din that was being put on a computerized environment. Then, kapag ni-re-engineer mo yan, yung cash receipts na yan, ito yung possible na mangyari. Now, the mailroom is frequent target for re-engineering. Anong ginagawa sa mailroom? Okay? Companies send their customers pre-printed envelopes and remittance advices. Okay? So, upon the receipt, these envelopes are scanned to provide a control procedure against theft. So, unlike with the manual discussion natin kanina, pagka-receive, yung check mismo, ifo-forward mo doon sa mga departments. No, what will happen here is that, sa cash receipt department, so dito, i-scan daw. So, the envelopes are scanned to provide control. Yeah, nangyari yan. Ini-scan yung check eh. Then, saka yun yung sinisend. So, that additional control. Okay? Pwedeng i-recheck yun pagdating ng physical na check doon sa department. Then machines are open the envelopes. Okay, sorry, mali yung nakalagay dyan. Pero machines will open the envelope, scan the remittance advice and check, and separates the check. So there would be some sort of machineries na pwedeng gamitin na siya na yung magbubukas ng envelope, and then that would be the one na magsiseparate na. So, wala na masyadong touch nung person in the mailroom. So, more on supervision na lang. Then, artificial intelligence may use to read handwriting, such as remittance amounts and signature. So, eventually, yun nga, an AI yung machine could really do it instead of the particular mailroom person. Pero dito guys, take note ha, pag nasa totoong company na kayo, of course, we need to take into consideration the resources of the business. Hindi porket na discuss natin dito na ay re-engineer tayo kasi mas less yung fraud or malilesen natin yung pagkakaroon ng problem as to this. But of course, we need to weigh the benefit and the cost, and always that the benefit should exceed the cost. So small entities, maybe they cannot afford it, but in larger entities, they can do so. Okay? Then another thing with regards to this is yung point of sale system. Ano ba to? So, or POS system. So we have point of sale systems are used extensively in retail establishment. So this is for customers pick the inventory from the shelves and take them to the cashier. Tapos, the clerk will scan the universal product code. So the POS system is connected to an inventory file where the price and description is received. Example, pag napunta ka sa grocery stores, yung mga cashier, natin, di ba, mayroon na sila sa SM, for example, as they scan it, makikita nila, okay, ito yung price niyan, di ba? So, pwede niya na ma-update agad. Kaya siya point of sale. Okay, pag in-scan mo yon, ibig sabihin, ma-update na agad yung inventory record na, ay, nawala na itong product na biniling ito, pwedeng ubos na. Even, let's say, for example, you can view for the information kung may available stock pa. Example, sa National Bookstore, halimbawa, magtitingin ka ng book, di ba? You can ask the customer service to check kung anong store pa yung merong stock ng book. So, that's an importance of a point of sale system, which is most of the time, okay, lalo na kung malalaking grocery store or retail businesses to, okay, they have this already, no? Okay. So the system computes the amount due. The payment is either cash, check, ATM. So no accounts receivable in this most cases. So sa SM, sa Robinsons, sa Pure Gold, diba? Sa Restans, okay, and others, they have this already. POS. Okay, may question tayo? And then if checks, ATMs, or credit cards are used, an online link to receive approval is necessary. Yung check, I haven't encountered yet here in a simple grocery store or even retail sa SM, pure gold, na check yung pinambabayad. Pero this ATM and credit card, I have experienced this already. So, bago mag-proceed yung payment, no, actually, depende rin sa bank, pero most of the time, no, kapag kinaskas yung ATM, 'di ba? So mag-approval muna, ipipin, input mo yung pin mo, then saka mag-approve, then saka mababayaran. Automatic na. Actually, kagaya sa SM, yung BDO nila sa harap nung cashier nila, 'di ba? Pag in-insert mo doon, ikaw lahat, insert mo amount, then yung pin, then automatically mababayaran na yon without any cash handling scheme. Okay? Then at the end of the day, the cashier's shift, at the end of the day or the end of the cashier shift, the money and the receipts in the drawer are reconciled. So, 'di ba, meron another tape doon sa gilid nung, 'di ba, pag nagpapaprint ng resibo, actually dalawang kopya yon. Yung isa binibigay sa customer, tapos yung isa naka-record sa tape. Or even pag nag-print yung manager ng listahan ng total sales mo, kaya niyang kunin yon, i-reconcile yon over the cash that you have in your cashier's box, at saka yung mga approved na printed copies kanina ng let's say ATM or credit card, nire-reconcile yon so that they could be able to check whether meron bang cash over or under na naganap. Okay? So that's very fast as to POS system. Isipin nyo na lang, pag ginawa yan, yung manual na resibo, so nagka-calculator pa tayo, di ba, ilang beses natin i-check bago pa natin matapos na ma-verify. Pero sa POS, you can just check the transaction history, then monitor it through rechecking and reconciling it with what you have in the cash drawer. Drawer yung tawag. Okay? So, ganito yung process sa point of sale, and I hope na na-cover ko naman na yan lahat doon sa discussion kanina, pero nadagdag si Treasury kasi kay Treasury babagsak yung na-receive na cash in sales department. Okay? Then, let's discuss the reengineering using naman the electronic data interchange. So, this electronic data interchange is the one which helps to expedite transactions. Okay? So, the customer's computer, okay, determines the inventory needed, selects the suppliers with whom the business has a formal business agreement, okay, dials the supplier's computer and places the order. Okay, then the exchange is completely automated, no human intervention. Okay, so by the way, one example of this EDI natin is, let's say for example, nag-online order tayo, di ba? So sa customer, tinitignan niya na, determine sa inventory, ba nag-online order kayo sa, let's say, yung mga katotohanan, yung grocery. Let's say, for example, di ba may mga online grocery? I haven't experienced that, so hindi ko ma-explain. Siguro, example na lang ito, electronic data interchange na to is, let's say, for example, yung sa SM appliance. Okay. So, on the, di ba, sa SM appliance, pwede nyo i-check online na kung may available stock ba nung gusto nyo bilhin na product. Okay, and then, pag nakita mo, okay, meron, let's say, aircon. Okay, ito yung aircon. Game, go. Proceed. So, titignan natin, okay, tayo doon. Nagpi-place na tayo ng order for delivery. And then, you can pay it already automated using what? Pwedeng ATM, pwedeng credit card, di ba? So, that's an example of a re-engineered process. As in, the order will happen online, computerized, and also the payment will happen online. So, ang magaganap na lang doon would be less human intervention siya. So, magaganap na lang doon na physical contact with the item would be yung delivery going to the customer. Okay? So, that helps us to expedite the transactions without even going pa doon sa mga other manual processes na tinignan natin kanina. Okay? So this is an example of the EDI. So meron dalawang company, okay? So for company A, let's say the purchase system, may purchase system siya. So the EDI translation, it will communicate directly doon sa software ni company B. So ma-update siya, okay, umorder pala itong si company A ng ganito. So ma-update agad si company B, and then after that, ipaprocess niya. Then after that, no, magbabayad si company A, it will go to the mailbox of A, then it will go to the company B's mailbox, and then afterward it will go down to company B. As you can see, uh, less yung human intervention on the electronic data interchange. It's more on monitoring na lang, as well as kung may delivery man, then it could happen to be a delivery. Actually, alam mo ba, 'di ba, nakita ko sa isang TikTok na video is that in the US they are already also yung shipping ginagawa na ng robots, 'di ba? So less na, even yung payment binibigay doon sa robot na 'yon. Okay, so ano lang, this is just somehow new updates and new kumbaga mga schemes in order for businesses to make their processes, no, more faster, and they could be able to collect cash from their inventories easily under the revenue cycle. Okay? Any questions so far? Ayan, konti na lang guys. So let's talk about reengineering using the internet. So typically, no formal business agreement exists as they do in the electronic data interchange kanina. So most order are made with credit cards in the internet, di ba? Okay, credit cards o kaya naman debit cards. Then mainly done with email system, and thus turnaround time is necessary. So halimbawa, pag kayo ay umorder sa Lazada, 'di ba, ina-update kayo through emails or even kay text or even si Shopee din, 'di ba? Intelligent agents are needed to eliminate the time logs. Security and control over data is the concern with internet transactions. So, itong mga internet-based entities na to, they are required to secure um to secure your data, kasi 'di ba, halimbawa yung telephone number, yung address ng bahay mo nandoon sa computerized environment na yun. So they need to strictly enforce yung access control over that data, kasi once na nahack yan, then everything will have a breach over the data privacy. Okay, so kailangan ng more security. Pero in some other cases, no, primary concern yung security over the internet na yan. Okay, now next would be some control considerations for the computer-based environment. Although we have the the manual controls kanina and some additional controls na na-discuss na. So let's discuss thoroughly ano ba yung mga controls that would fit to a computerized or computer-based system. So in terms of authorization in a real-time system, authorizations are automated. So program decision rules must closely monitored. So syempre in setting up yung program, halimbawa, hindi mo na kailangan ng credit manager, pero input mo doon sa inyong system na, okay, kapag ito si customer na ganito yung in order niya, then approval. Okay, it will automatically proceed. Okay, pero hindi pa rin nawawala yung approval. There is an approval, pero ang i-check nyo lang is yung logic, the computer program being designed to decide for this particular authorization. Then, segregation of duties, consolidation of tasks by computer is common. So, it protects the computer program. Coding, processing, and maintenance should be separated. So, ano ba yung consolidation of tasks? So, usually, computer do everything, but you need to protect the computer program. Okay? At the same time, yung coding at saka yung processing at saka maintenance should be segregated. Yun yung important na segregation of duties dyan. Kasi once na nagko-code, yung nagpa-process, although system naman yung nagpa-process or even siya nagme-maintenance, pwede niyang i-edit, i-modify yung computer program so that pwede niyang makommit yung prod. Okay, so of course naman, in a typical environment, the maintenance will be done by the IT people, okay, o kaya naman accounting people din, but separate department. Okay? Another is supervision. So in the POS, point of sale system natin, the cash register's internal tape or database is added form of supervision. So naka-embed na doon sa system yung supervision natin. Even though meron pang additional naman na manual sa pure gold, 'di ba? Kahit naka-POS na 'yon, pagdating ng 'di ba, kailangan pa rin ng signature ng manager, chine-check pa. Pero it's more on the number of bags, 'di ba? Number of boxes na meron dun sa binili ng customer rather than it's more on the system. Okay, access control, so magnetic records are vulnerable to both on authorized and unauthorized exposure and should be protected. So let's protect the magnetic tapes, the master files, because they are the one who carries all of the information. So the access must have limited and also safeguard and monitor computer programs as much as possible, guys. Okay, so yung password, bawal ipamigay. Eventually, as I experienced before, every month we are changing passwords. Okay, tapos, kaya din na i-check dyan yung, kumbaga, ayun nga, kung naka-laptop din tayo, dapat naka-store yan doon sa, lagayan ng laptop properly, okay, nakasusi kung di nagagamitin, and nakalock. Okay, depending upon the entity's policy yan. Okay, kasi may pinipirmahan din na privacy about data. Pag na-violate mo yan, nagkaroon ng access yung other people, then ikaw as a person who process the information will be in a problem. Okay? Then, accounting records, so rest on reliability and security of stored digitalized data. So, ayun nga, accountants should be skeptical about the accuracy of hard copy printouts. So, we double check yung hard copy printouts. And then ito, nabanggit ko ito in chapter 2, the backups are very important, no? From the start, kailangan nagba-backup tayo kasi once na masira yung isang file, then we could retrieve another copy from this backup file. So we need to continuously update it. As to how to do the backups, it depends upon na yun sa company policy kung kailan sila mag-backup. Pero most of the time, no, dapat ito yung suggestion ko kasi I've been also a what we so-called BCP officer, so ano ang tawag doon? Business Continuity Plan Manager. So, ang ginagawa namin sa entity namin is that we are doing the update, no, at the end of the day, depending upon the shift of the employee. Okay? We update the data. And then, we have also independent verification. So, we consolidate accounting record tasks under one computer program, which can remove the traditional independent verification controls. So, para ma-counter problem yon, there should be performing of batch control balancing after each run. So, titignan mo, pagka-run, computer system, ito yung total, tignan mo yung batch, kung tatama ba siya, doon babalanse ba, then produce management reports and summaries the end users to review. Okay, so, ayun, pagkalagay sa system, pagka-generate, you can check for a report. Okay, print mo, download mo, okay, check mo kung tama. So, merong pa ring independent verification even though it was being consolidated by one computer program. Okay? And lastly, it's the PC-based system, so used by small firms and some decentralized firms. It allows one or few individuals to perform the entire accounting function. So most of the systems are divided into modules controlled by a menu-driven program. So we have the general ledger, inventory control, okay, we have the payroll, the cash disbursements, then we have the purchase and accounts payable, the cash receipts, and also the shareholders. Okay? Okay, ano ba tong PC na to? Personal Computer-Based Accounting System, ha? So, yan yung mga usually ini-install doon sa personal computers that could only be accessed through the use of that particular installed application. Okay, yung iba kasi ngayon, yung automated processes nila, okay, naka-cloud environment. Although itong PC-based na to, it's still a computerized system, no? Yung iba kasi naka-cloud na yung processing. I have experience of both tinatawag natin na PC-based at saka yung cloud, no? Example nun would be yung NetSuite. Yung NetSuite, Oracle, they are cloud-based. Samantalang yung SAP or SAP, it is a PC-based kasi installed siya doon sa ano, okay, particular computer which has various modules. Although yung mga online, they are already having also various modules. Okay? Any question? And then what's the PC control issues? So it tends to have an inadequate and segregation of duties, and then it should compensate the increase in supervision. Okay, and then detailed management reports and frequent independent verification. Kasi nga as mentioned kanina, 'di ba? Under the PC base, most of the time it allows one or few individuals to perform the entire accounting functions. So yung segregation of duties medyo nawawala. So it should be compensated with other controls. Then access control so data should be stored on a computer that tends to be weak. Okay? So methods of encryption, dislocking devices should be used. Okay, dahil naka-install nga siya sa isang computer, okay, kailangan ma-protect mo yung access over that computer. Okay, then the accounting records, computer disk failure, costs, data loss. Dahil nasa PC mo lang yan, so pag nagkaroon ng, let's say for example, virus yan, nasira, then there should be a data backup implementation na ginagawa yung entity once they use this PC control. Okay. Ang mahirap pa niyan, na pag nawala yung kasi laptop ka, tapos nasa laptop mo yung PC accounting system. Okay. So, hindi siya naka-cloud, hindi siya naka-synchronize. Okay. Ayun. Wala rin lahat ng data mo. Okay. So, that's some of the control issues that we have from that PC accounting system. Okay, sir, ano yung mas maganda? Depende sa entity. Kung yung PC, dun sa PC, kung yung PC naman is, yun, ma-access mo lang siya sa office, hindi mo iuuwi, tapos maayos naman yung backup system, then that's okay. Pero, most of the time, then, although it will be mentioned also in the other, at saka dun sa last topic ko about my own experience in accounting information system, most of the time, entities are now on what we so-called online or even cloud-based accounting system wherein it could be accessed anywhere else. Actually, dati nasa Pangasinan ako nagtatrabaho ako, nag-enter ako ng accounting record kasi lahat automated na. Okay, lahat ng source document naka-online na. Then I just simply record it, okay, using my cloud-based system. Okay? So that's all about our discussion for today ng the revenue cycle. I hope naintindihan ninyo from the time that you have the order being received from the customer up to the end of delivery and collections. Okay? Then, also some controls. So, yung mga controls, paulit-ulit na lang yan na ma-encounter natin. Okay, depending upon na lang sa context, no, on the various cycles din. Okay? So, if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask. So, just to end this, no, I know na some of you, yung mga data flow chart dito ay naguguluhan kayo. I tell you, pagdating nyo sa actual practice, no, hindi nyo kailangan intindihin yung data flow chart na yan. Ang intindihin nyo lang is yung ano yung process flow na simple line na maintindihan nyo, because everything, especially kung computerized or computer-based environment ka, then it will be done by the computer. Okay, at saka meron din kami tinatawag sa private na DTPs. Okay, desktop procedures. Okay, yun yung documentation kung paano siya gagawin. So you can, itong mga na-discuss ko dito overall are just based on the book, pero it could possibly be modified or even changed depending upon the setup of the entity. Pero in general, yung kabuuan nito, this is just a general overview. Some specifics would fall on the entity-based procedures na. Okay? So that's all for today. And I hope na naintindihan niyo yan. Again, if you do have any questions, please feel free to send your questions to our group chat. Okay? And ayun. Have a nice day, everyone. See you all on our discussion of Chapter 5 we will start the expenditure cycle already. So dalawang chapter ang expenditure cycle. We have chapter 5 for the purchase and cash disbursement, and then for chapter 6 we have the payroll, and we have the uh, fixed asset system. Okay? So thank you very much. This is again Noel Bergonia, signing off for the meantime. Good day, everyone.